Well, welcome everybody to Inspired Conversations. I am so excited. This is Kim Evans. I am your lovely host. For those of you who do not know me, I actually am the owner of Two Gorgeous Integrated Health and Wellness, where I make women and men look absolutely gorgeous. And I'm also a holistic health and business wellness coach. So today I have a very special guest. After we celebrate 26 years in business, this is my spotlight guest for May. And I want to just say, Mr. Lawrence D. Adams, welcome to Inspired Conversations with Kim.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Man, I am so excited to have you on my show. And thank you for saying yes to be my guest. So, Mr. Lawrence, before we get into the show, we're going to go straight right in. I always love to invite the Holy One in, and I hope that is okay with you. May we do that before we get on fire with the show?
Yes and yes.
All right. So everybody, this is Kim. I just want to send a blessing out to the world. I want the words that's going to come from this show to be impacted. And we're going to draw forth the Holy One into this show. And may God, you have total reign. May your words go as far as the east, as far as the west, as far as the north, as far as the south. And everybody that listens to this show, men and women alike, be transformed, illuminated, educated, and lifted up by his voice and your spirit. God bless this beautiful, beautiful speaker who is about to drop some gems. And God, thank you so much for blessing my voice, because without you, I am nothing. So I just want to say, God, take it away and just let your words be your words and do what you're going to do in this show. And we're so honored, God, that you are here in the midst. Thank you, God. Amen. Amen. Lawrence.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to read a little bit about you because people need to know who you are in the Bay Area. I mean, you lighting a fire in your YouTube channel, but they really going to know who you are after this podcast show. Is that okay? Can I just drop some gems? Can I drop some gems? Okay. Mr. Lawrence D. Adams have, oh my God, a growing trailblazing YouTube channel. Y'all got to go on his YouTube channel. It's amazing. Lawrence is an author, podcaster, motivator, speaker. He's a music composer. Lawrence currently hosts a weekly podcast show called The Thinking Class, where the motto is where spirituality and the game combines. I love it. The podcast helps men. Now, his show is a men's channel, but women, you are welcome too. Dealing with masculinity, relationships, and purpose. He's also known for the uncanny ability to help people to think on a higher level of thought. This is what I love so much and why I was so attracted to this young man's show. He's an author of several books and audio books. And you guys, I put his books in my Amazon channel. So make sure after this show that you go to my Amazon channel and you buy his book, The Secret of the Invisible Crown. So his title of his book, again, is The Secret Invisible Crown, correction, the power of believing in yourself. He's a loving father of two handsome, gorgeous men, one currently serving in the military and the other in his second year in an Ivy League college. So where spirituality and the game combines, Mr. Lawrence D. Adams, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Kim. I appreciate the invite. I've been looking forward to this. This is amazing. I'm excited about this. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's just get to it. Let's get to it. So I'm excited. Our topic today, spirituality and the game combines, how to live your best life now and to align yourself to win in healthy relationships for men.
Yes.
So let me ask you, how did you come up with when spirituality and the game combines the thinking class? How did you come up with that name for your channel, first of all?
Okay. So a little backdrop. My channel initially I started over 10 years ago was about relationships.
Okay.
But in the present time, I about a year or two ago, the show began to evolve. And I was like, what's going on? You guys are thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, you know what? It's the thinking class. You are a class of men, but people who think. And
Yes.
that's where it sort of galvanized and came together. And everyone said, we're coming to class every day. And it
Wow.
became the thinking class. Now, the other side, how the spirituality and the game came in there, is because I come from a church background, 3 generations in ministers.
Okay.
I'm 3 generations in. But on the other side, I understood the game of life.
Mm-hmm.
And when I define game, I'm not defining how most people define it as manipulation or trying to get over, but I define game as strategy.
Okay.
Every person needs strategy on how to get from point A to point B and to Z.
Okay. I love it. You know, I got to do a little bit of background. So just tiptoe just a little bit. 3 generations in.
Yes.
Share a little bit about that.
So
that is huge.
So my grandmother, my father's grandmother in West Virginia had a church in her house with Pillar and Ground and Truth Holiness Church.
Okay.
And so my grandmother became a minister, and then my father was an overseer in the Lord's church. So that's just my father's side. Now my mother's side, her grandmother was good and knew the word of God and had a prophetic gift. And so I'm getting it from both sides. But when it came to me, I had to find my own lane and do it my way, but still honoring the legacy that I come from.
Got it.
That's 3 generations in. Yeah.
That's powerful. That's powerful. And what's so beautiful about that, you have never strayed from the word. I can already tell. You know, you just raised up in it and you never strayed from it. What is that other passion within you that just keeps you on fire for God consistently?
I guess the passion that I had for years for serving in the church on multiple levels, multiple ministries, there was something that was missing. And what was missing was, where are the men?
Yes.
Seeing the number of women coming to church, but where were the men? And then the men that were there, why are you not standing in your masculinity? Or why are you not being men who are not downtrodden, but actually being men? And that passion started. So I was part of the prayer ministry. I would pray and pray and pray. Then I got part of the men's ministry. And all of a sudden I'm the youngest person on the men's ministry and I'm taking charge. I say, we need to come together and pray for the pastor. Like, what? Yeah, if this is our leader who we get the word from, we need to come together. So at the beginning of service, I would get all the men to pray. I didn't have the women pray. I get the men to pray first, because if the men lead in the prayer, guess what? At the church, it makes them easier to lead at the house. So I love it. Yeah, that's how that's the
way it should work. Yeah. So it's interesting that you mentioned the men. When we look at 2022, when we look at what happened with COVID, and we look at the disbursement, that a lot of people no longer was going to the churches because of that. And so now people are starting to migrate back. We have a major decline in the attendance of people across racial lines and ethnicity going back to church, and particularly the young people. But let's hone it back in the men. Where are they? Where are the men?
They have decided, they have voted with their feet and said, we are not going to church, because some of the churches, not all of them, have forgot about them. They forgot about the needs of the man. And they say, you know what? You don't have a space for me here. Why should I even come? So I'm going to vote with my feet, with my absence. So until a ministry begins to pour back and speak logically to men, cause them to think, cause them to reason, men will come back. If not, they're gonna run away. They're not gonna come.
You mean they're gonna keep running away, and they're
Yeah.
going to stay out.
Yes.
On that note, which is so fantastic, is where your show, when your show comes in and fills that gap, what are the needs of the men? What are men's needs? What are men saying they want? And what do men need?
So this is the biggest thing that I think a lot of people miss. Men do want a connection spiritually.
Okay.
But they don't want all the formalities and all the games and all of that. They want someone who's going to be honest and transparent. So they want spirituality. They've seen the good and the bad. They've seen the good and bad of church and whatever the case, temple, whatever place they go to worship. But what they want is the spirituality. Also, the next thing they want to be acknowledged as men. Mm-hmm. Speak to us. Mm-hmm. Speak to us. Don't forget that we are sitting here. It don't cause us to sit here and all you want to do is use us, but you don't pour inside of us. Mm-hmm. So that's the other thing. So men want to be recognized, want to be validated. The next thing they want to say, hey, we know you're the leader, but let it be known that we are leaders in our household. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes over the pulpit, it makes it the pastor is the leader of all, but he never pours out and say, you men, I'm commissioning you to be leaders in your household.
I love it.
We talk about going into the Great Commission. I can talk about that all day, but the Great Commission is not into the world until you get your household together.
I love it. I love it. Now we have a duality of a fight between the woman and the man. And we have women on one side that has jumped and fell out of their femininity into their masculinity more so than none. And then we have men that want to be recognized. So we have a war going on. There's a war going on. You mentioned men want to be recognized. They want to be validated. And they want to be respected as leaders in their household. How do women now begin to support that?
The first thing they have to do is acknowledge that they got to say, baby, I made a mistake. Mm-hmm. I did not honor you as the king of my house. Not the pastor, not the other person, not your boss, not anybody else, but I didn't honor you as the king of my house.
Yes.
And so that's word. The next is it has to be an action. It has to be a corresponding action that ties in to what you said. Because if we go by the Bible, it says faith without works is what dead. So you can talk all you want to, but until you got some faith with some works, all your words are what? Dead. And so now we need some action. So the next thing a woman has to do is she has to show that she honors this man, reverence this man. Mm-hmm. And that way she shows him is by her, and this is a hard pill, her serving him.
Yes. Yes.
Serving him.
Yes.
I promise you, Kim, if a man is being served, he would jump and try to grab the moon for that woman.
I hear you. This is good. I hope, ladies, I hope y'all paying attention. I hope you're writing notes, taking this down, because this is amazing right here. Yeah. Well, we gotta get back to the serving, though. I mean, we could do a whole course on the serving.
Yeah.
Because there's an element in there that's called forgiveness.
Oh.
And that is just a pill that could be so heavy for a lot of us women. If you have not forgiven your man, you can't get to that point of serving him. It's so strong, but yet so easy to do. So your message to the women, just a taste, because it's so interconnected.
Yes.
If a man is to be served by his queen in his home, maybe she don't know how, maybe she's not practicing forgiveness, then what advice would you give to that? Because if that's not clear, then that woman can never get to that next place of serving him the way that he needs and deserves to be served.
So I call the men to the carpet on this.
Okay, all right.
You cannot expect servanthood from a woman if you have not communicated what you need in your life.
Amen.
See, as a man, as a leader always gives vision. He
Yeah.
casts a vision to the woman. He casts a vision for the family. This is the way we're going in. Let me be detailed of where I'm going. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Then what he does, he said, let me teach you. I'm going to lead you, but let me teach you. This is how the Adams do it, or this is how the Jones do it. This is how we're going to communicate that. The next thing he do, he leads by example. See, most guys, when they can talk this stuff, you got to, you got to do this, girl. And no. You lead by example. She has to see, and I haven't talked about this in a long time. She has to see that you're the sun so that she can walk in her essence as the moon. Because she's always reflecting back to you who you are. So you have to become the sun. So you can't get too close, you get burned. You can't get too far away, you'll get cold. So you got to be just right. But the moon orbits what?
Around
the sun. But this the catch, this the other side of it. The moon controls what happens on the earth, which is their paradise.
Yes.
So if the moon reflects, it controls the waves.
Right.
In the ocean. So we can use the earth as our world.
Yeah.
So when the man is in position as the sun and the woman is in a position as the moon to reflect him, they can control their paradise called earth, or their Eden.
That's deep. That's deep. That's so deep. That is so deep. We just have to take a breath on that, y'all. Just take a breath. It's just inhale's a little bit more, God. Oh, that is just so deep. That's almost like so juicy. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So the other caveat is that speak on the point that men must also know their value. Oh. Men must know their value. Men must know their limitations, and men must know how to give. So let's start with the first one. Men, how do you know your value?
We have a true deficit, and especially in the Black community, Black men, they do not know their value because they've been beat down, tore down by everything around them. And so they think their value is lower than a worm. And so they reflect that in everything they do. When a man begins to understand his true value, he decides who's in his life and who's not in his life. But a lot of men don't know their value because you know why? And now you made me think of a scripture. It said when Jesus was getting baptized, one thing that Jesus did when he was getting baptized by John the Baptist was this. After he came up, what happened? God said, "This is my son in who I am what? Well pleased." A lot of men have never had their father say, "This is my son and who I am well pleased." So there's a deficit why they don't value themselves is because they never had a man. Don't have to be a father. I just heard about Jamie Foxx, about his stepfather. It's his ability to say, "I am well pleased with you." When a man hear that from another man, guess what happened? It activate his ability to say, "I have value." Many men have not had that father say, "I am well pleased with you."
Wow. All right, we got to stay right there, though. This is juicy. I am well pleased with you. So is this why men go to places where they should not go to think?
So
I'm well pleased.
Because they're looking for their identity outside of them instead of looking for the identity that's inside of them.
Yes. See,
the father, we can say the natural father, but they have not tapped into the spiritual side that the father has not said, "I am." They have not heard the voice of the father, God the Father, say, "I am well pleased." Yes. So they go from this place, that woman, this situation, this drug, this tragedy, this problem,
this event, this situation,
right?
This circumstance.
Looking for what? The Father's voice that said, "I am
well pleased."
So they're trying to fill a void.
Oh, juicy.
That not can be filled. That's why he can have all the women in the world, Solomon, but yet be unsatisfied. Say it's vanity. Why?
Mhm.
Because the connection needs to be there. The spiritual connection needs to be there.
Now you didn't open up a worm. Now you just had to go to that sexuality. That's going to be a second show.
Oh, yeah.
Because so many men drive to that over and over and over perpetual thing, driving and thinking that that is going to replace what they're missing with all these different women. And that's not the answer, is it?
No, the reason why the whole thing with the sexuality, we connect with the woman through our sexuality.
Yeah.
Our sense of let's be very clear and transparent. Our sense of worth also comes with our ability to please a woman.
That's it.
And if we were to go a little bit deeper, our sense of covenant,
yes,
place when we connect with a woman.
Yes. I love it. This is good. That's a whole nother seminar right there. But back to the pleasing, who I am well pleased. Yeah. All right. So we got that side of it. That's just one point. There's several. The other flip side of it, how does a woman continue to show the value of her man that she's well pleased? And this is one of the things that I like to always share with ladies. Give your king props. Give your king thanks. Let him know that he's a man. Shower him with compliments. Let him know that he's important to you because he's seeking for that, right? Nice. But a lot of women, because of that unforgiveness issue, tend to not to do that. So a man is also seeking that on a daily basis, on a regular basis from his woman. So ladies, how can we begin to share and shower to our men that we are well pleased to them? What would you say to that, Lawrence?
I said serving, but also, like you said, with the words, but also understand men are so simple.
Okay.
They're so simple. They're
How
not
simple? How simple are they, Lawrence? Tell us, Lawrence. Tell us.
All they want is peace.
Yes.
Then they want a piece of something to eat.
Cook food.
And then they need to enjoy the pleasures of who you are as that woman.
Yes.
In the bedroom. Let me be very clear because y'all may try to know. In the bedroom.
Yes. 3
things. A man he'll be good to go. And don't disrespect him.
Ooh.
Let me say this because I gotta say this.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of women, you've been trained to be so long to lead that you don't know how to fall back and allow him to lead. I want to say it another way, but I'm gonna keep it PG.
No, just say it just the way you said it. Yeah, just repeat what you just said. You said it very clear and very plain, organically, just like that. No, just go ahead and say it one more time, Lawrence. So, no, that's real.
So many women have been trained to lead. You've been told by your mother, your grandmother, your aunts, and that generation, you can do it. You don't really need a man. So when a man shows up, now you're competing for the position that you're not supposed to be in.
Yes.
Now the man shrinks and you say, where are the good men? He can't compete with something. There can be two positives. There has to be a negative and a positive in order for there to be an attraction. So it is important that women, I know, I understand, but I really want y'all to hear, and I say this on my channel all the time. I don't spare anybody. Women, it's okay. I know it's hard because you've been doing it by yourself, taking the garbage out. You've been cutting lawn. You've been dealing with the plumber. You're dealing with that. It's okay to say, let me fall back and let me allow him. No. Let me allow myself to fall back and allow him to step up and do what he needs to do. Not nag him if he don't get it together the first time, because I know how it works. When I thought you was going to take out the garbage. Wait, just relax. Allow him to activate in that position, because a lot of men haven't been taught how to lead.
Yes. This is good. This is really, really, really good. We got to tiptoe a little bit more back on this disrespect. So talk to us about the disrespect. Do not disrespect your men. Oh my God. Why is that so important for women not to disrespect their men? Let me ask it in a different way. When a woman disrespects her man, how does that make him feel?
So the first thing that I think when a woman, catch what I just did, the first thing that a man thinks, why is this woman disrespecting me? Mm-hmm. Why is this taking place? And what he thinks is, it makes him wonder. He equates respect with love. Mm-hmm. So how you show a man that you love him is by respecting him. Now, when you don't respect him, it automatically he thinks she doesn't love me. Mm. Now, it's the reverse with women. Women need love first.
Exactly.
To know that they are what? Respected. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what so the man thinks like, wait, you must don't love me because you're not respecting me.
You're not respecting me.
Right. Exactly. And it's so important that men are respected. I seen a terrible example last week and I was like, wow. I just step back and say, you know what? This is not good.
Would you like to share it?
So the man I was at the Asian festival, and I seen a guy and his wife and the kids, they were in line. And he was waiting in this particular line going to get some food. His wife got, I don't want this. I'm going somewhere else. You don't know what you want. Blah, blah, blah. And she started talking loud in public to him. I sat at the table. I kept eating my noodles and my egg roll. And there was another Filipino lady. She was looking at me. She looked at me like, I don't believe what I just heard. She pulled him out of the line so that she can get what she wanted. Wow. And dragged him away. And he looked at me and I looked at him, man, I can't help you. That's your wife.
That's women.
That's your wife. But it was something to see, and it actually hurt me.
Wow.
Because I know what he was crying out. He wanted to stand up, mm-hmm. But because he never stood up before, it wouldn't have worked in public. This is something that should have took place in private. There's a way to treat a woman in public, but there's also a way to treat a man in public. And which he was.
You're on the pulse. So just for the sake of an example, this is what we're going to do, because God's going to birth something really wonderful here. I want you to take that exact same example that you just did. And how should the woman have approached that situation? Let's reverse engineer it. So you demonstrated how she disrespected him, because I feel that situation. I've lived a situation like that before. I've seen it and I've also done it. I've learned from it. For the women who are listening, for the men who are listening, and for everyone that is seeing this, take that same example and how should it been done in a loving way? Because see, we have to make a conscious choice. This is how we have to change the trajectory on how we treat one another. We got to be conscious, number one, spiritual two, and be mindful of those things as they show up. So take us just real quickly, say 10 seconds. How could that situation have been changed?
So what she could have done while they were in line, she could have went, hey, babe, you know what? I really don't want what's in this line. But she would have grabbed his hand, sort of lean her head on his shoulder. I'm going to wait here with you, but when we're done, I really want to go over there and get something over at the other stand. But I'm going to hold your hand and tell you how handsome you are, and I'm going to lean on you. Mm. Her tone could have came down. Her body language, that's what, let me get that, because tone and body language had to come into congruency. And she could have hold him and say, yeah, and then she could have said, you know what? I love being here with you while we waiting in line. Because when I know when you get yours, I'm about to go get mine.
That's that serving. That serving. Right. That's that serving. That's what he's looking for. Right.
And He would have, hey, y'all need to hurry up on this line. He would have made, y'all need to make this happen.
Wow. Do you see what you just did? You see what you just did at that moment? That's beautiful. That's what women queens need to hear. And that's what men kings need to hear. I can't wait for you to start your class and do that online class, Lawrence. That's going to be awesome. I know it's coming.
Yes.
That is fantastic. So you said tone, body language. Those are essences that disrespect a man. Anything else that you would like to share before we get to your next point?
So in that space, that should have never, ever happen in public.
Yes.
Because no matter what, he's your protection.
Yes.
He's your provider. Even if you making more money, he's your provider. He's providing for you emotionally, spiritually. And you want to say, I don't want to do that to him because you don't know the ramifications of what you just sown in his life. And that seed gets in there and it caused contention. It caused other things to not work and happen because your tone and your body language says, I got this. It's dangerous. Dangerous. So I looked at this, I looked at that and I realized for me to see this, it was for me to do something within me for them.
Yes.
So I'd adjusted them inside of me so that they can have a healthy relationship.
And the beautiful thing, you felt that. Here it is, you are witnessing what this woman is doing. And you just felt it kind of like touched the core, the bone of your body.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you felt that. I mean, just like you don't even know this guy, but that action alone from her to him, you felt that.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yeah, I felt it.
So the next point is men should know their limitations. We all have boundaries. So speak a little bit about men and knowing your limitations.
One of the things that young men have, and I'm seeing it with my sons, they think they can take over the world and I can jump off a building and not get hurt. I can run over here and I have to say, hey, you don't need to do this. What happens is when a man begins to know himself, he recognizes his boundaries, but then he recognizes the God in him and the boundaries that God do not have on him. But it only happens when a man becomes what? When he begins to know thyself.
Yes.
And so a lot of men don't know themselves because they've been conditioned, they've been told that this is who they are. But until a man knows who he is and he knows his dislikes and his likes, that's the only way you're going to know your limits. And I think a lot of men have not taken the time to retrospect and go within and say, hey, wait a minute. Okay, that's my limit. See, when you know your limit with anything, then you recognize your who? Help mate.
Oh, stop it. Say it again. Lauren, stop. No, you didn't. No, you didn't say that. Say it one more time.
So no, when a man knows his limits,
yes,
he then says, as Adam said, it is not good for me to what? Be alone. Because why? He recognizes his help mate.
Woo! This is good stuff. Oh, this is good stuff, man. This is good stuff. Y'all need to turn into Lawrence D. Adams' YouTube channel, you guys. This is some good stuff right here. Oh my God, we could go on, but we got to move it forward. We got to move it forward. All right, another point. Men know how to give. Talk about that, Lawrence. Men and knowing how to give.
So by nature, men, by virtue of his anatomy, just use his anatomy, he is the one who has the seed. So his seed is the ability to populate or to increase. So he gives by virtue of his anatomy. You look at a man's anatomy, is about giving. So when men learn to tap into the power of giving, guess what happens to the right receiver? It causes not division, but multiplication.
Are you saying queen? Are you saying mate? Are you saying helper? Yes. Are you saying significant other? when they choose correctly,
Yes.
then the formula works.
Yes. So when a man gives a woman, if the man gives a woman a compliment, say his woman, you're looking good today, you're looking fine. She takes that and formulates that in the oven or in the kitchen of who she is. And she multiplies that not only in her, but everything around him.
Exactly. Wow.
So that's the power. That's the power of it. When a man begins to, he knows how to not only get physical seed, but mental seeds inside of a woman.
Right.
Spiritual seeds. He plants so that both of them can reap a what? A harvest.
But he plants it, but she germinates it. God gives seed to the soul, but in his due time, he gives the increase. So then, therefore, she germinates that nature. She germinates that into an orchard, and she begins to till that soul, and she begins to grow that forest. That's how it starts. That's how it keeps growing. That's how it's supposed to be.
So let me throw this scripture in, because that when you said that, it clicked. It says in the New Testament, it says, give, and it shall be given unto you. Yes. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together, yes. Shall men or that woman,
yes,
given to your bosom.
Yes.
When you give,
the
return always happens, but it's multiplied. And so that's where men, but the thing of it is, just let me say this, because I gotta say this.
Yes, please.
A lot of men had given, but they haven't received the harvest from the woman that they were given to.
All right, say that. Okay,
sometimes
all right.
Stony grounds.
Right.
Or they're given where the birds came and get the seed.
Right.
But he needs to plant in the right location to get the right harvest for his life.
Well, then how does he do that, Lawrence? How does he plant in the right location?
He has to till the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Got to move the stones. And a lot of times there may be stones in the woman's life, emotionally, spiritually.
Okay, speak that. Yes.
Needs to be moved away. That's why we want everyone to do their work separately so that there is no stones there. But sometimes, no matter what, when you come together, there will be things.
Sure. Because we live in an imperfect world, but we're gonna go a little bit revert, because you're saying something real good. Stony ground, that emotion, that spiritual. So what you're trying to say, if a woman has not done her work, if she's traumatized, if she has experienced certain inhibitions and things in her life, and she has not toiled that out of, and now she meets a king, and that king is trying to plant his seed, then there is called this interference that plant can germinate, because she has not done her inner work in order to be clear in her mind of what she needs. Are we hearing this? Ladies, are we hearing this? Are we hearing this? Are we hearing this? We have to do our work too, right?
Let me say something. Ooh, I got something. I know. This
It's good. It's good.
So with this ground, sometimes the seed is planted, but the weeds from the men from the past is choking out the seed that has your harvest.
Wow.
So the men of your past, the weeds is come in and choke the seed of this man who's planting in you and is stopping the harvest from coming up. So a lot of women had to deal with the weeds of the men of their past.
Right.
This is too good, man.
That's deep. Lawrence, that's so deep right there. That's another class, because, this is why women shouldn't go from and I'm not harking on the women, y'all. I'm with y'all. I just want everybody to win. I want us to win, but we have to understand this is a spiritual thing here. And that especially if you have not tilled your soul and you have pulled out your weeds from past relationship and what men have done to you. To work on that. It's a thing called therapy. It's very popular nowadays. It's very popular. Yeah. Therapy. Work on that. So when your Boaz come, and I'm just using it as an avatar. So when he comes, you can receive him, because he's coming to plant some seeds, right? He can't plant it on stony ground. Oh my God.
And then the birds.
So good.
The birds.
Wow. This is so good, Lawrence.
Let me get the birds. So the birds are things we talked about the weeds because they're the men or whatever situation, but the birds are the things that you're entertaining in your thoughts.
Right. Right.
So they come in and try to get the what? The seed that's planted.
Wow.
So what thoughts are you entertaining? Oh, ain't no good, man. They all nothing but dogs. You lay down with a dog, you're working with fleas. I got to do, I know I can't trust a man fire so I can see him. These thoughts, it says, cast down every thought and everything to the what? To the knowledge of Christ. So those thoughts, so birds, what thoughts are you entertaining that's choking out those seeds?
The magic question is, how can women begin to retrain and rethink their thoughts? Okay, so they're more blessed thoughts. And there is a scripture that talks about that, you're supposed to set your thoughts on things that are worthy, things that are, I mean, we don't have to go all the way there. We know what that is.
Yes.
But you have to do that. So when he comes to plant those seeds, then the channel of your thoughts are clear. It's so amazing. We're so interconnected. And I hope everybody's getting this, men and women, women and men. We are so entwined and interconnected. Two beautiful species that God has created, and we were created to work together and in harmony. You have talked about so much in this small amount of time, Mr. Lawrence D. Adams. This is so juicy. This is so good. And most definitely we're going to do a part two. Yes. As we begin to wind this down, the beautiful thing that you wanted to really speak on is how to align yourself. Men, this is for the men because we got Father's Day coming. So this message really is for you. Men, live your best life now. How do we do that? How do men do that, Lawrence, in this day right now? Align themselves so that they can live their best life now and win in their relationships with women.
So the first thing they need to do, and I make sure I did it today before I got on here, the video, I learned how to celebrate me. I learned how to take time to pour into me. You can't expect somebody to love you past the point that you don't even love yourself. So the first thing men need to do is to begin to stop looking for a woman to do something that you should be doing for yourself. I go in, I look in the mirror, I love who I am. I love every part. I love me. And I celebrate me. Then I take time to pour me. I went to a reggae festival before even coming here. I said, let me hurry up and get out before the traffic gets going so I can be here on time. I went there and just enjoyed. Got by the water. I did a video. I did things that nurtured my soul. Last night, I did something that nurtured my spirit. I heard a sermon from someone, from a dear bishop I have that's passed on, but it nurtured my what? My spirit. Then the next thing I do physically, I make sure I did today. I went to a very nice little restaurant. I sat up on the top floor by myself and I had a great meal. And I took my time and then savored it. See, when I do those things, I become what? Attractive.
Yes.
Because I have, my world is, now I become the what? The sun. And not a moon.
I love it. I love it, Lawrence. So what you're saying is men need to take time out to celebrate themselves. And you don't have to find it in someone else. You must seek within yourself what that is. Pour into you. Love yourself. So you're not always beating down the door, making and expecting a woman to do it. I remember my father, I was raised by my dad, very wise man. And he used to tell me all the time then, take your own self out. Go buy your own dinner. Travel the world your own self. Buy your own clothes. He wasn't telling to be totally independent. He was saying to celebrate yourself as a woman. Then when the time comes for a king to come and to do those things, if you choose to do those things, you can enjoy them. But the point is, enjoy a moment to yourself. But main thing is happiness is you. You bring happiness. You bring the joy. You bring the love. You bring the gift. You don't look for someone else to do that. Then when two people come together, it's like, okay, this is beautiful. But I love the fact that by doing all that, Lawrence, make you a very attractive man. And you see that and you feel that. I love it.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you would like to add in how men can begin to live in harmony in healthy relationships with themselves?
So we said a celebration, but most of all, you need to make a connection spiritually with God.
Absolutely.
If
Yes. Yes.
if you don't do that, all this talk we said means nothing.
That's right. I
A
love it.
man he first need to find his foundation, not on the outside of him. It always is within. So a man needs to connect to the God in him so he connects to God inside of her. So he needs to connect to the God inside of him. Does that, then he can connect to the God inside of her. He recognizes God in her. So, but he needs to connect. So that is foundational. When we said celebration, he make sure he needs to nurture his soul. He needs to expand his knowledge. He needs to take care of himself physically. I mean, make sure I'm going to the doctor on Friday. Take care of yourself. So I know, man, we think we Superman and I can do it. I can run through a faster than a speeded bullet. No. Take care of yourself physically.
I love it.
Go get checkup. Make sure your eyes, your teeth, your whatever. Go do that. I got 2 checkups last year. They booked me 2 times. I was supposed to be once, but they booked me twice.
I love it.
Well, I'm here. It's like, I'm gonna let you what's going. Hey, whatever's good, I'm good. Gotta do that. Because this is the thing. If you're valuable, guess what? A person that's valuable honor the vessel that they are.
That's right.
Make sure they're taken care of.
That's right. And you're not looking for a woman to do that. That you're doing it yourself. That makes you even more valuable.
So if he's not looking for the woman to do that, when she does it, all she does is multiply.
There you go.
Already been.
There you go. There you have it. Oh my God, Lawrence, I love it. Nurturing the soul, expanding your knowledge, taking care of yourself through checkups, through diet, nutrition, of course, exercise. We got to put that in your mental wellness and your physical wellness and your emotional wellness, but by far your spiritual wellness. And that actually is tapping into the spirituality of your God. That's where it all is. Oh my God, Lawrence, this has been, oh my goodness, just a love joy. My goodness, we could go on and on and on and on with this. So I have to ask you too, as we close this, what has been your most defining moment? What was the tipping point to say, hey, this is where I'm going. This is the direction, the trajectory that have changed my life to where you are right now?
This one thing, when I lost everything. When I was on the street, homeless. Go back to my mama's house in the basement with the dog. As a grown man.
Whoa.
That's when I rode the bus line at the job I'm at now, not knowing that I was going to work there. That became my defining moment. I said, I cannot be and do this. I cannot do it. I had enough. I hit the bottom of the rock, at the bottom of the barrel. I had enough. And then from there, I began to shoot up. It's when I lost everything, when I had to look at my son's eyes and realize I couldn't get him something for Christmas. And I said, you're looking at Dad. I said, but I'm going to tell you something. You see me right now? I'm going to have a car. I'm going to have a place. You're going to watch your dad rise up like Lazarus. And guess what? They watched me as I, not fast, slowly begin to rise up and see their dad in the position that I am now. But they see me when I was down, but that was the defining moment. It's when I lost everything.
That's beautiful. What a beautiful story. And is that story told in your book?
No, it's not told in the book, but it's going to be told. I've talked about it so much, but I need to tell the story about when I lost everything. I had to figure out what to do with a dollar. I knew how to hustle and get some money. I had a computer, so I would get on the computer and make something happen. And I figured out how to do it. But it's when I lost everything. I got robbed at gunpoint. Then they took my computer with my books. So I said, you know what? I surrender.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but I don't want to go back to my mama house. But me and the dog, we're gonna be buddies right now.
Wow, Lord. So at that moment, something must have just rose up in you and said, no, it's time for a change. I can't continue to go on this path no more. I gotta go. Amazing. Okay, that's part of your TED Talk. I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being transparent and sharing that.
Oh, yes.
That's powerful. Sure. Blessed is the man who keeps his testimony. That's beautiful. What are last three things that you would like to say to the men?
First of all, I want to say to the men, this is from Michael Jackson. It's crazy. This just popped up at me. You are not alone. That's the first thing. Because a lot of men think they're in this struggle, this fight, this thing, where relationship they're going through. They think that they're by themselves.
But they're not. The
next thing I would tell the men is to once again connect with your spirituality. And then also the third thing would be for you to get knowledge, but not just get knowledge, get on top of knowledge, get wisdom to take you to the next level. So,
well, the word does say in everything you're getting to get wisdom, because wisdom is, well, understanding is the perfect thing, right? Yeah. It is right? It is it.
Right. Yeah, definitely. You're not alone. Men need to know they're not alone.
You're not alone.
They're by themselves. Michael Jackson knew what he was saying when he said, you are not alone.
You are not alone. I love it. Yeah. You are not alone, men. Connect with your spirituality and get knowledge in everything that you are seeking, and seek understanding. Yes. God give us the provision to be able to do that. Everything that we do, we can be able to understand that with him.
One more thing.
Yes.
Once you do all those three things, something we said earlier, give what you know.
Yes.
Give what you know. Pour back to the next generation.
Pour
back.
That's good.
Give.
That's good. That's good. That's
give
good.
to the younger men, to the women, to the people in your family, your community. Give.
Wow. I love it.
So many men have so much information, but they don't share it. You got to give. You came here, your rent on this earth is for you to.
But you know what's so interesting when you talk about giving, and a beautiful avenue of giving is networking. Just align yourself with other people, powerful people. If you don't know how to, just align yourself with networks. I do all the time. That's a form of giving. You know, mentors, coaches. You know, we're not in here alone. We can't do it alone. We do need to have help, you know, in different areas. I love it. So I like to always ask my guests some fun questions. And so I'd like to ask you, Mr. Lawrence, before we close out the show, what is your favorite color? You just went silent. Your mic just went silent. It's okay. It's all good.
Blue.
He said blue. Okay, why blue? What does that represent?
Oh, it's just cool, calm, and you see my background.
I see your hat is blue.
Yeah, blue. Yes. Blue is my thing. I
love it.
Blue.
And so what is your favorite food besides jerk chicken?
Yeah, jerk chicken is my favorite. The next thing, which is in my refrigerator after
jerk chicken too?
No, I don't got no jerk chicken. Watermelon. I love
what is it?
Watermelon.
Oh, watermelon. Yes.
I can eat watermelon all the time.
Oh my God. Watermelon is the bomb, actually. I eat it all the time. It's one of my favorite fruits too. I actually just did a post on that as well. So if you could travel anywhere in the world that you have not traveled, what is your next destination?
That's a good question. I was supposed to go to South Africa. So right now, wow, I guess it would be South Africa.
I guess it'd be South Africa.
Yeah, South Africa is on my list. That's one of the things on my, and I want to visit I want to go to Egypt and actually visit see the pyramids. So that's one of the things too.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my God. It has been just a pleasure. Mr. Lawrence, I wanted you to come back on the show because I want us to talk about the gift. I want us to talk about, are women the gift? Because that is so complex and it's so confusing in the dating world. Who's the gift? Is a woman the gift? I think God clearly states about that. But I think there is something there to unpack. And I would love to bring you back on the show for us to talk about that.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. I'm ready to go.
You good with that? Are we gonna have a part 2 on that?
Yeah, part 2. We could have went 2 hours.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do, you guys. Come on, clue on in. Mr. Lawrence D. Adams, we coming back and we're gonna talk about the gift. Yeah. What about that?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Mr. Lawrence, would you share with the audience, how can people contact you if they would like to have a consultation with you, and also state your YouTube channel? I'm also going to leave it in the show notes.
Okay. So you can find me on YouTube under Lawrence D. Adams. Go on YouTube, put Lawrence D. Adams. You'll find it. You'll see the marquee where it says the thinking class. You can actually find me there. If you need a one-on-one, I do have a website, and that is the LDAlifestyle.com. And you can find me there. Or another place to get me, because I'm always there all the time, and that's Instagram.
Instagram. Yes. And I love the fact that you're doing more of your Instagram lives now. This is wonderful. You guys follow Lawrence D. Adams on IG, you guys.
Yes.
He is lighting a fire to the nation. This is wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you. Are you open to speaking engagements?
Yes, I am. I'm open to do speaking engagements. A matter of fact, I'm coming from 3 generations in. I'm already been prepared, prepped. I did speaking engagements years ago. So I'm already know how to do it, but I am open to it. The last thing I did, I just spoke at a singles conference. So several singles conferences. So it was actually very well in New Jersey, and then one here locally. So yes, I do speak.
I want to know, when are you going to do when are you going to do a men's retreat?
Ooh,
I think you need to come to come to California to do that.
Yeah, you know what? That's been in the works. That's something that I've been talking to a group of guys. We want to come together and do a men's retreat and really have some hands-on.
That's right.
In your face.
Yes.
Break some barriers down.
Yes.
And actually build some men up.
That's right.
So that they can be the best version of who themselves. So, but yeah, that's in the works. It was just talked about this week.
Well, let's make that happen. Let's manifest. And I think that should be something for the men. And then on the last day, you need to bring a couple of women in there.
Oh yeah.
On the last day. Oh yeah. On the last day. You know,
Yes.
a fireside chat.
Yes.
I'd be more than welcome to participate in
for sure.
a fireside chat
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the last day.
Yeah.
Now, the first 3 days is for the men, but on the last day, a fireside chat and bring in some women.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Is there any questions that you would like to ask me, or anything that you would like to add before we close out the show, Mr. Lawrence?
I want to say, first of all, thank you so much for giving me this invite to come and share and to open up and to give to your platform, to plant seeds on your platform. I'm honored. I don't take it lightly. I'm actually humbled by it, and I appreciate it. A lot of times people don't take time to go back and say, I appreciate that you did this. And I want to make sure I appreciate you, what you have done, the professionalism, everything that you have done. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you.
Well, thank you. And thank you for saying yes. And may God continue to bless your platform, because he is rising you up, and to continue to be that light in this dark world and the servant that he needs, because you definitely are doing it 3 generations in. Yeah. So you guys, let's give it up for Mr. Lawrence D. Adams. And you guys catch him on his YouTube channel, where spirituality and the game combines. And it is called The Thinking Class. So as we end this show, this is Kim Evans, your host. And thank you so much for listening to Inspire Conversations. Bye for now.